Hey, what's up everyone? Mendel here. Hope you are all doing awesome and wonderful. Now, at the end of last year, I switched from PC to Mac and I decided to basically clean up or basically improve or change my whole hard drive system, like working with M2 drives and SSDs and the whole kind of stuff and backing up stuff. Like this whole system is pretty important to me because I want it to be my workflow as efficient as possible, but also as reliable as possible. In the case of with backing up, if stuff breaks, I need to have backups for clients who are asking like me to do revisions, or if a client says like, hey, I want to have a remaster a couple years ago, I need those files backed up and saved so I can access them at all time. So I contacted OWC. Now, if you've been following the channel for a while, back in 2020, I did a video for their really fast PCIe drive called the Accelsior M2, which I still have, more about it later. But I hit them up and I did a video call with the guy called Sebastian, awesome, very knowledgeable dude, to help me with this. And they invited me to go to Belgium, to their Europe office, and help me with basically the whole transition and giving me tips and kind of stuff. So this is the documentation of that process, and after the visit, we'll cut back here to the studio and I'll show you in a quick nutshell my current workflow, but I'll make a separate video about that, about my whole workflow with my projects, backing up and Cubase and hard drives and video products and all that stuff. So without further ado, let's cut to Belgium. Alright guys, so here we are at the OWC headquarters in Europe. My good buddy Sebastian. Sebastian is here. He's the expert with all this stuff, and he's gonna help me out making this ideal setup. I have another camera set up here, so you can see the whole process, and I'll be shooting in between. But basically we have, so this is the 1U4, am I correct?
Yes.
Okay, and we'll insert this one. I had this for 2 years. It's going to be in there. We're going to have some HDD drives, some U2 drives, right? And we'll just go through the whole setup. So let's start digging. Here we go. Ah, het is gewoon een PCI-slot daar.
Yes.
Ah, oké. Oh, fantastisch.
Ja, andere kant. Ja, maar... oké. Got it. Dus hier zie je de 2 HDD's.
Oké,
en hier
ja.
zie je dat er 2 U.2 drives zijn.
Oh, je hebt ze er al in inderdaad.
Ja, alles zit erin, hè.
Oké, dus dit zijn de 2 harde schijven.
Ja, en dat zijn de 2 U.2's.
U.2's. En dan hebben we hier nog de Accelsior.
Hier aan het slot komt, als je die open doet, kan je eruit halen.
Ah, oké.
En als je er...
Ja, oké.
En als je die hier insteekt, zie, dan klikt die gewoon netjes in het slot.
Ja.
Zal ik eerst Softrate op je
Mac installeren.
Dan moet je even...
So I'm back home from Belgium, from Brussels, from OWC headquarters. Finally back home, and I'll show you what I'm doing at the moment, or have been doing past weekend, like transferring all the data from my PC, or copying all the data from my PC to my Mac and all the drives from OWC. So let's show that. Here we go. All right, so as you can see here we have the One U4, and it has two M.2 or U2, if I'm correct, SSD drives, and two regular old hard drives for backup, and these are set up in RAID. This is the lifesaver. This whole weekend I've been like putting my SSD drives. I'll show you. Let me just see here. Let me just minimize this. So for an example, I could like just put my Windows SSD drive in this, click, and then in a bit it should pop up, and there it is. And basically I could, like with the full SSD speed, copy everything from these data drives and sound library drives to my either backup drives or like the sound library drives or my working drives. And over here I have, this is like for M.2 drives via Thunderbolt. So I could like open it up, put my Windows M.2 drive in here, connect it to the Mac Studio, and then basically copy all the data to my new drives over here. Now as you can see over here, this is all connected with a very cool software called SoftRAID, which basically lets me organize all my drives and put up RAIDs and all that stuff. Now let me just tell you what if you don't know what RAID is. Basically, there are different setups how you can work with your drives. You can combine drives or have one active and then one is linked for like constantly copying. So you have like a mirror. So basically this one that's called backup is actually these two hard drives, like with the physical spinning disk. And I've put it up in a RAID, so in a mirror. So basically I have 10 gigs here, 10 gigs here, only using these 10 gigs, and everything is mirrored to this one. So if, for an example, this one fails, I always have a backup and don't lose my files. Very clever. Now these two are the fast SSD drives. So that's audio productions, just audio productions, and video productions over there. And basically what the workflow is, I work off these drives, and when I'm done, I just back up my Cubase project or DaVinci Resolve project for video editing, and that goes to backup. Now over here you see sound libraries, and that's basically the Accelsior that's in the back. I think it's over here. So that's nice and fast. I think it's over 2000 gigabytes per second. So that's fast enough for all my drum libraries. And I'll show you, like I have sound libraries over here. Everything from like ADO, Evolution, what else over here? Orchestral tools, brass. Over here you can see my main stuff. This is all from Native Instruments or through a Native Access, like Cinemax Studio Brass, piano, solo strings, etc., etc. So that's now all on one very, very fast Accelsior M.2 drive. But as you can see, I'm not fully done yet. I'm still in the process of copying all my data. I'm almost done, and see how everything works. I did my first test project, seemed to work so far. So that's basically it. So I'll wrap up all the copying and stuff like that, and then put the One U4 in my desk, and we'll get back. Alright, so I got the One U4 now mounted into my desk. Let's connect it to the cables. Let's set up the Mac Studio in a nice place and see if everything works fine. Alright, so while I was editing this video, I noticed I didn't film the outro or basically when everything's connected, like the roundup of the video. So it's been 1 month, I think. So everything works very well. So let me just show you. So the One U4 is working flawlessly. I have it set up, so basically set up the same as you could see in before, like all those drives right here. OWC was kind enough to also give me this thing over here. This is the Mac Studio. Let me just up the screen so you can see it clear. There we go. So this is Mac Studio. Love this thing. And this is the, if I'm correct, it's called the Mercury. And basically it has a lot of Thunderbolt ports on the back. Let me see if I can get this on camera. So as you can see in the back, there are like Thunderbolt ports there, which also work as USB-C ports. So that's really cool. But also, let me not destroy my camera here. But also inside this thing, you can put like HDD drives or SSD drives or even an M.2 drive. So what I did is I put in a older SSD drive I have in here, and that's functioning as the time machine drive. So as you know, Mac has a function for backing up the main drive, so you can select some drives you want to back up. That's in here, so in case if the Mac crashes, I could basically connect another Mac to it and everything's backed up on here. So that's pretty cool. So that's basically it for this video. Everything works flawlessly. Like I've been working like this for, I think, a bit over a month or maybe 2 months. I can't remember. But it works flawlessly. The drives are really fast, no problems at all. Everything's connected via Thunderbolt, so it's super fast. Really, really happy with this setup. So I really want to thank OWC for the support, and Sebas, of course, for helping me with the whole setup and setting up all the drives and installing everything. That's so much appreciated. I'll make another video in the future about my workflow with the drive. So how I work with my Cubase projects and the mixing and the mastering, separate folders and backup, all that stuff. If you have any questions about that, let me know so I can put the answers in the next video. So thanks for watching and see you next time. Cheers.